My name is Angela Stillwell. I'm the owner of The Art of Healing. I am a licensed professional counselor and an expressive art therapist. In these women's group that we do, we are focusing on individual aspects that affect us in our daily life to promote healing in a creative and expressive way. This is to overall help the women have another avenue in healing other than just regular individual talk therapy. Today's topic, we are doing Let It Go Girl, and we're going to be focusing on things in life that are barriers to us that keep us from finding our true self and our happiness in life. We are going to focus on ways that we can let those go so that we can envision what our future could be without these barriers that are keeping us from going forth in life. So today we're going to make a vision board that's going to express what their life is going to be like without all these barriers.
But first, we let go of our inhibitions with our friend and Zumba instructor, Regina Wilson. Regina led us through fun and challenging dances to help us tune into our body and in the moment. Dance is another powerful creative tool we can all use to ground ourselves, get in touch with our wants, needs, and worries, and break through our personal barriers.
Today's theme is Let It Go Girl, and it is about identifying barriers in our life that are a source to preventing us in being who we are and finding our happiness in life. So today we're gonna be talking about different types of barriers that are very common in women, and then we're going to create an artwork, which is going to be a vision board, and we're going to envision what our life is going to be like without those barriers, and we're going to create a collage. When you have anxiety, you have OCD, you want to try to be in control of everything, and working with collages, it helps to take that away from you. When you're working with collages, you're just like, you're going through and you're just picking out pictures by feelings and thoughts. You're not thinking about, oh, this will work, that will work. You're just going by your instinct. And that allows the subconscious to identify what it is that you're trying to get out of you. It allows you to really get into that, in this specific case, into the deep root of your barriers. Right? Your subconscious will pick those things out for you, and it will help you to process those roots of those barriers. So that's the whole point. So we're going to start with identifying our barriers. When we did Zumba, the instructor was talking about, healthy eating habits and exercise and how it's important to our health and all that. One of the things that I wanted to point out, that is our barriers that we put on ourselves as women. What's the number one thing that women worry about the most?
Weight.
Their weight. And so we're always looking for ways to lose weight, to change our body, to make it look better, whether it's through diet, exercise, surgery, clothes, whatever we can do to try to make ourselves look better. What do we do when we look at ourselves in the mirror?
Talk down on them?
Yeah, we judge ourselves, we talk down about ourselves. I say it's okay to want to better ourselves, but we need to treat ourselves better. We need to, when we look in the mirror, instead of talking down to ourselves, talk about what we like about ourselves. What we feel about ourselves is what we portray, we put out there, right? So if we're always judging ourselves and thinking of ourselves as not good enough, what are we going to portray ourselves out in the world, right? And what are we going to feel like in the inside, more importantly? Besides identifying our barriers, which we're going to do, but we should also identify the beautiful things about us. Like she said, we're all a work in progress. If we use our life, each day all we do is think about what we need to do, rather than what we're doing and being in the moment. We're gonna waste our life away always trying to figure out how we're gonna make ourselves better and never see the beauty in ourselves, right? So today, I want us to identify some barriers. I just identified one. What's another thing?
Looking at what others have.
Comparing ourselves to what others have. If we allow other people to determine who we are, we're never going to be satisfied in life. And that's one barrier that we really need to get rid of. Okay, what you're going to do with your work, how we're going to start with, is just like we did last week. We're going to take a piece of paper you have in there and you're going to create your background for your collage so it's just not white. I just chose these warm colors today because I asked myself, what do I want my vision board to be? And so I want it to feel warm and happy, so I chose these bright warm colors. I envisioned my life to be happy and warm and bright and peaceful and joyful. So that's the first step you're going to do. The second step, you got your scrap paper. This is going to be the hardest part, is identifying your barriers, because immediately we start judging ourselves. We start thinking that we're bad, right? Because we have those barriers, and so we don't want to write them down. But that's not what this is about. It may be other things. Like it may be people in your life. It may be your thoughts you have about yourself or feelings you have about yourself. It may be, financial barriers, COVID. COVID is a huge barrier right now to everybody. But we're going to try to identify our barriers. So I'm going to start, and I want y'all to go ahead and start. All right, so after we get our list of barriers, and mine's quite long. I had no idea I had so many barriers. We are then going to, on the other side of the paper, look at how we could change each one of these barriers in our life. Yeah, that's a big step, I know. And we don't have to solve it completely, but we want to kind of get an idea. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of mine. So, for example, right on the very top, COVID. Now, COVID is something we can't help, right? We have no control over. So the only thing we can do is change the way we cope with COVID to make ourselves feel better. So on the other side, I might say, be patient, find my way to work around COVID. So that's just giving me an idea of how I can defeat that barrier that I have. When it comes up, that's sticking out to me right now is fear of failure. That's a big one of mine. Not failure in other people's eyes, but failure in my own eyes. So how would I defeat that fear of failure? I could tell myself that it's not about, whether or not I fail or succeed. It's about how hard that I've put an effort into it. If I've known that I've done everything that I could possibly do, then I didn't fail. Now our subconscious is primed, so now we're going to go and pick out some random magazines. Let your feelings guide which magazine you choose. If you don't have a feeling with that magazine, just pass it on by. When you have a feeling with the magazine, you want to keep it. Then you're going to go through the magazines. You're not going to really think about it. You're just going to turn the pages, and when something catches your eye or something gives you a feeling, you're not going to question it. You're just going to tear it out, set it to the side. And you're going to do that throughout your magazines until you really feel like, okay, I think I've got what I want. Then the step after that is then you're going to grab your pile and you're going to start cutting out things that draw your attention. By that time, you're going to have a whole stack of things that you've cut out. You're going to bring your paper over, but then you're going to really start having a feeling about what you're doing, and you're just going to start laying them on there and creating your collage. And in this process, your feelings about your future and all that is going to start coming together. You should have actually almost like an epiphany. This is the subconscious collage process. Now we're going to wrap it up and we're going to talk about the process of what we did today. So we were focusing on Let It Go Girl, and we started off the group today with Zumba, where we were letting it go. So the Zumba part was to express ourselves through movement and be nice and caring for our bodies. And Zumba is one of those ways we can do that. So it's a combination of exercise that's helping our physical body stay healthy and strong. And the dance is where we can express ourselves and let go. Expressive art therapy project was we were making collages that were expressing what we visualized our future to be when we can love ourselves fully, let go of those barriers that we have within ourselves that is preventing us from finding our happiness. Does anybody want to share what were some of their barriers to start with?
Negative thoughts.
Oh yeah, the negative thoughts. So how do we overcome those negative thoughts? What do we use?
Positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts, mindfulness, being aware of our thoughts and changing them. I talked about COVID and fear of failure before. So another one of my experiences, uncertainty. What's the right answers, what to do, don't know what's coming up. There's a lot of uncertainties in our life. Those uncertainties can make you feel out of control and stop you from moving forward and going after those things in life that you want to go after for your happiness, right? And so, anybody got an idea how you would cope with uncertainty?
Trust in yourself.
Good. Self-trust, self-confidence, self-trust, to know that no matter what happens, you'll find your way, right? Having faith is another way. That's what I put. Faith in that it will all work out. The next step was we were going to create vision boards. We did kind of collages. Here's mine. It's just full of pictures of things that I love, but it's mostly about feeling empowered, knowing that I'm loved, I'm worthy of doing what I want to do in life. I've got something that says love is love, no matter where it comes from, whether it's from yourself or a pet or a partner or a friend, right? Love is love. Been there, never done that. Want to do all kinds of things. Oh, and this one I love the most. I got this woman spreading her arms out, and above it says, love is beautiful, choose your own path to happiness. This is so simple, but it is definitely powerful, and I love the colors. You're free to do whatever you want in life.
It's not so bad to start new. Do something new.
No, it's not. Okay. I'll see you guys next week. So next week we are starting with the theme of own it, strut it, and love it in reference to how well we treat our bodies. Are we nurturing it? Are we feeding it well? Are we exercising it? Are we telling it that it's beautiful? And so next week in the women's group, we're going to do body art. Hope to see y'all there.